my pretend student who's not actually there. Let's go ahead and start on page 1. Today we're reading about prank phone calls. Do you like prank phone calls? Have you ever done that? Alright. Anyways, let's go ahead and start with vocabulary 1. Vocabulary 1 is prank. So, can you say that with me? Prank. Okay. What is a prank? A prank is just a joke, right? It's a joke phone call. For example, it doesn't have to be a phone call. I used to play a lot of pranks when I was in college. Do you know brownies? I used to bake brownies. They're like a small brown cake. And I would add this special food coloring to the brownies. And then whoever would eat the brownies their pee would be blue for like a week. It really scared them. Anyways, that's an example of a prank. So vocabulary word number 1 is prank. Let me make a sentence for you. I love to play pranks on my older brother. Okay. Vocabulary word number 2, tastefully. What does it mean if you do something tastefully? Let's see. You might say something that a wedding was tastefully done. For example, everything's really beautiful. There's nice flowers everywhere. The colors are nice. You'd say, wow, what a tasteful wedding. So it can be an adjective as well, tasteful. Or you could say this wedding was tastefully done. All right, let's go on to number 3, pretend. What does it mean to pretend something? Well, something's not actually real, but you pretend that it is real, and that's pretending. Really common with children, right? Children will pretend all the time. They might pretend that they're a firefighter or an astronaut or a movie star or something like that. All right, number 4, convince. What does it mean if you convince somebody of something? What if I told you my name is Bob and I'm from South Africa and you didn't believe me, but I keep talking and talking until you begin to believe me? That would be convincing you. I finally convinced him that my name was Bob and I'm from South Africa. Crazy. Okay, and number 5 is click. What does it mean to click? Well, it depends on the context. But in this case, if you're using something like this, a mouse, you can click, right? Alright, I think that's how they're using it, but I don't know how to navigate this page well enough. Okay, anyways. Oh. That's ridiculous. Okay, wait. Alright, let's go up to the top of the page and go ahead and read the beginning of it, okay? Read after me, big student who's not actually there. Okay, it's not always nice to be on the receiving end. Say that again. It's not always nice to be on the receiving end of a prank call. What does it mean to be on the receiving end of something? It means one person does this thing to another person. If you are on the receiving end, you are not the person who does it. You're the person who receives something, right? So, if you're on the receiving end of a prank call, you answer your phone, and who knows, maybe one of your friends tells you that your house is burning down, or something like that. Anyways, okay, let's keep reading. But when it's done tastefully, both of you can laugh about it later. So we'll read the first part. Sandra. Sandra says, my friend just called pretending to be a travel agent. So her friend is saying, I'm a travel agent. Yeah, my friend just called pretending to be a travel agent. He almost convinced me that my flight to the Maldives had been accidentally canceled. Oh, wow. What a mean friend, huh? It's terrible. Alright. So she says, or Brendan says, Brendan is a boy, that's a good prank phone call. Well, we did laugh about it once I put 2 and 2 together. So what does it mean if you put 2 and 2 together? How about this? If your boyfriend came home with red lipstick on his collar and he smelled like a woman's perfume, that would be 1, right? And then if you heard him talking to somebody flirtatiously on the phone, that would be 2. And if you put these 2 things together, you might say, oh, my boyfriend is cheating on me, right? So that's putting 2 and 2 together. Okay, let's keep reading. How did you figure out it was him pulling your leg? Now, pulling your leg is kind of a funny saying that we have in English. I'm not sure where it comes from. So what does it mean to pull your leg? It just means to try to trick you into something, right? So I might pull your leg and say, what should I say? Funny. I can't think of anything. Anyways, I might just try to trick you. I might say, oh no, your boss called me and he said you lost your job. You got fired. And you would freak out. You'd be scared, right? That's pulling your leg. It's when somebody makes a joke and tries to trick you into something. Okay. Let's keep going. So Sandra says, some of the things he was saying were not adding up. What does it mean if something does not add up? Let's see. When I was a teenager, I would often come home late. And my mom was the smartest woman ever. Actually, I'll give you another example. One time, my mom was gone late at night, and I had a party. I had about 40 people over at my house. And we ate all of the food in the house. Everything was gone. And at the end of the party, I was terrified that my mom would know I had a party. And my friend said, hey, we'll help you. And we went out and we bought a bunch of food and we put it all in the cupboards. And then we cleaned the whole house. And I thought, ooh, it was so good. My mom will never, ever know that I had a party. But then my mom is so smart. She said, Tammy, the house smells different. And I said, wow, that's crazy. It doesn't really smell different. And she said, yes, it does. She said, did you have a party? I said, no, of course not. She said, something is not adding up. And she realized that I had a party simply because of the smell of the house. My mom's amazing. Things always add up for her. Anyway, so if things add up, they make sense, right? If things do not add up, something is wrong. You know something is off, and maybe somebody is lying. Okay, so we keep reading. However, I believed him for a moment before it clicked. I used that word incorrectly. Let's go back to number 5, click. So, what does it mean if something clicks? I can use this word a couple of ways. Like I said earlier, it can be if you're using a mouse, when you use the button, click, click, that's clicking, right? But it can also be when suddenly you understand something. Oh, it just clicked, right? Maybe I'm taking a Chinese class and I don't understand a certain word in Chinese. And my teacher keeps trying to explain it to me, and it's really difficult for me. And finally they say, oh, Cammy, blah, blah, blah. And I go, oh, it clicked. Now I understand. That's that moment of truth where you understand something. It can mean another thing. For example, if I meet a new friend and we just instantly understand each other and like each other, and we have a lot of things to talk about, I would say our friendship just clicked. We just clicked. It means we go together well. We understand each other. But in this case, it means to understand something. So that's number 5.